To talk a little bit about chivalry. Chivalry is living our lives so that we place ourselves as second in importance to everybody around us. And we demonstrate that by the polite and little things that we do for the women in our lives, but also for the people that are not women, other men as well, children, exalting, lifting them up, supporting them. And in the process, they appreciate us. We don't do it so that we get that reciprocated appreciation. We simply do it because it's the right thing to do. Chivalry. Contrast that with the idea of gallantry. Gallantry would be someone that essentially lays down their life, takes off their jacket, and puts it over a mud puddle for a woman. So specifically targeted towards that relationship with a woman in their life, right? Particularly someone that they want to be romantically involved with, for instance. Chivalry, however, is much broader than that. It speaks about our relationship as men with society in general. The little things that we would do to become and support the people and the society that we live in and appreciate. Things that we would associate with chivalry would be kindness, protection, deference, deferring to their needs, getting the type of meal that they want rather than the meal that we demand, for instance. But courtesy and respect has, as part of it, valor and bravery, courageousness, courage. Think of that virtue ethics example of someone who is foolhardy and brave, but they're running into those bullets. They're just going to get themselves killed on behalf of the people behind them. That foolhardy bravery looks good for a period of time. It certainly makes for a good movie, or at least the final scene in a good movie, right? But it doesn't sustain a good relationship. On the other hand, running the other direction to make sure that we don't get hit in the crossfire, we call that cowardice. That's kind of the opposite extreme. So you take those extremes, right? You have the foolhardy bravery, and then you have the cowardice on the other end. Halfway in between them would be that golden mean. The golden mean, as in middle, golden mean, would be the courage. Living our life with courage. Courage is part of chivalry. The courage to defend the ones that we love, the ideas, the beliefs that we have, right? The country that we live in. That would be all part of valor and bravery, or courage. Courage in battle, right? Loyalty and honor. Loyalty to the people around us, to the people in our family, to our country, to ourselves, to our belief system. Religion, right? Christianity. Think of the knights in shining armor in the olden days. They fought for the honor of the people that they represent, the champions. They were champions of the ones that they love, the country, the king, the queen, the women, the family, even the other men that they fought with. They fought for each other, right? So religious devotion, loyalty, and honor, all of those things are part of chivalry. Chivalry is not dead. It's been under attack in the last several years. People have said that it's all part of the patriarchal society and patriarchal thinking, which puts men at the top of the list and everybody down below as if the men are the leaders. Well, guess what? Men are the leaders. We're not there to be the followers. We're there to be the leaders of our family and leaders within our country. Maybe we're not the president, but we are the ones that are leading the troops into battle. Whether that battle's on an actual battlefield or whether that's in a restaurant that is denying service to our loved ones and we're standing up for them, right? So patriarchy slight or barb, that attack on chivalry, is really kind of stupid. So don't really go along with it. Of course, everything can be taken to extremes. And so we can get into this toxic masculinity idea by saying that it's all about the man. But generally speaking, chivalry is all about the man denigrating or submitting himself to the wants and needs, the support of other people. Right? That's what chivalry is truly about. Maybe it's reinforcing gender roles. Gender roles, the old-fashioned roles that said there's a man and there's a woman and there's nothing in between unless it's an aberration in our physique, like an intersex person that was born with both the sexual capabilities, or at least parts, of a male and a female. But generally speaking, 99.9% of the time, right, there's male and female. That's it. So yeah, it is reinforcing gender roles. And part of the gender roles calls upon men to be what they were created to be: the leaders, the protectors, the providers, and ready to sacrifice themselves for the needs of the people around them. So is it too much focused on the appearance of being polite? Well, if that's all you do in your chivalry is hold the door open for someone so that the rest of the world can see that you're opening the door, then yeah, that's focusing on the appearance. However, if holding the door open for someone is simply an outgrowth of the way that you want to live your life, making life better and easier for the people around you, right? Not insisting on going to the restaurant that you want, but one that would be most desirable and wanted by the people around you. Well, that's not a bad thing. It's not focusing on a romantic view of life. It's not paternalistic or not patriarchal, right? It's none of that garbage that people have been feeding us for a period of time. Disregard for individuality. If we're polite to everybody, does that mean we're not polite to the few that are closest to us, our loved ones? Oh, of course not. That's silly. And the people that are closest to us, they will appreciate that we are generally good, chivalrous people, but particularly chivalrous on their behalf. So, yeah, of course there's potential for abuse. But if we use it correctly, it's not abuse at all. So how can we be chivalrous? What are the things we can do, practically speaking, on an everyday basis? How about just holding the door open? Once we go into a door to a department store or a mall or a restaurant or an apartment building or anywhere we happen to be, our home, right? Opening the door and then holding it open for someone else and then going through ourselves. Holding the door open for someone else. It's chivalry. It's polite. It's kind. It's goodness. It doesn't mean that we can't force someone to let us in first. Of course, if we're a man, if we're masculine, then we can, but we don't. It's a chivalry, right? Having the capability of doing bad things and not doing those bad things. But instead, using that capability to honor and exalt and lift up and support other people. That's chivalry. Chivalry. Offering our seat to somebody else. If there's not enough seats for everybody, then we stand up on that subway and we allow someone else to have that seat instead of us. I have no idea why the fireworks just went off in this recording behind me. Must have something to do with my hand motions. But try to ignore that. We'll get beyond that. Assisting someone when they're in need. If they've dropped something or something has fallen and they're lifting it up, or if it's too heavy for them, stepping over and lifting it on their behalf. Helping out, assisting someone in need. That's all part of chivalry. My friends, my sons, this is about living a chivalrous life. Fighting the spiritual battle by being the one that sacrifices ourselves for the comfort and the ease of other people. That's what chivalry is all about. Be chivalrous. We'll talk about masculinity next video. I'll talk to you soon.